to show you and introduce to you our KitchenAid mixers that we have in each one of our kitchens. They're wonderful. They're great machines. They've been around for a long time. Many of you maybe have them in your home. I didn't get one till about 10 years after I had a home of my own, and I thought if somebody had just told me how powerful they are and what great mixers they are, I would have had one a long time earlier. They're wonderful. We have the smallest one here. It's a 4.5 quart. They go on up to 5 quart, 5.5, 6. Actually, in my big one back here is an 8 quart. You'll see it on my demo table. But I want to show you, I want to introduce you to the one that you'll be using here in the kitchen lab. It comes with a bowl, and the way you put the bowl on is it sort of twists. It's got just a little twist. To put it on, you twist it, and to take it off, you twist it and lift. So that's how you put it in. It has to be twisted in place, or the strength of this mixer will toss it out once things get in here. So it's got to be in place. It comes with 3 different attachments. This is a whip. Would be used if you were using egg whites and trying to make a big meringue for a cake or an angel food cake or something like that, something very, very liquidy and very soft that you want to whip a lot of air into it. So that's the whip. This is a dough hook. This is used if I'm making a real heavy dough, like a bread, in the final stages of making bread where it's just so thick the paddle wouldn't even be able to get around it. You do this, and it actually does the kneading process. It folds it over on itself, just like when you're kneading dough and you fold it over and you press down and you keep folding over and you keep folding over, and it makes a gluten in the dough that gives you a really nice texture in your bread. That's the dough hook, and you would use it toward the end of making your dough for bread. The most common one is a paddle, and this is what we will use today. You see how it's shaped, and it sort of fits in the bowl here where it goes all along the sides, and it turns around as it goes around. You do essentially the same thing to get these on. Do you see the little notch there? Well, that little notch fits up with this little metal piece that sticks out. So you push it all the way up, and you turn it, and then it won't come off. It's very solid. There's 2 controls on either side of the mixer. You see these knobs. The one on this side keeps the whole machine, the beater down into the bowl, and I can lock it, and it won't lift up. And that's because sometimes if I have a real heavy dough, it is working so hard that it will sort of push. This will start lifting up, and it won't mix what's at the very bottom. So therefore, that's when I lock it, or if I'm carrying it or something. Otherwise, to lift it, you lift that up. On this side are the speeds, and it goes from 0, and then it says stir, and then it goes all the way up to 10. Rarely do I use a 10. Matter of fact, I start with the lowest. Listen carefully, and you'll hear just the stir. It's just a very slow going around, and that's what I start when I'm doing when I'm adding new things in until they get incorporated. If I were making my cookies and I poured a lot of flour in, I put this down, and I turned it on all the way to 10, I would have a cloud of flour all around me. So what you do is you start real low, and you build up, and you let it get sort of mixed up, and then as you need to, you can increase the speed. Periodically, what I want to check when I'm cooking something or when I'm putting this together and making my batter, I get a spatula and I will scrape this off and scrape the sides at least one time while I'm making it, and that way everything's going to get mixed up. And sometimes in the very bottom, you'll see it doesn't get mixed up, and so you'll want to use your spatula, just move things around, put it back down, stir it up again, and make sure everything's incorporated in that. At the end of using it, at the end of the lab, You press up and turn and take this off. You take this off and you wash your things, and then you take a washcloth and you wash down every part of it, because it gets splattered, it gets things in it, and the stuff is sticky because we're dealing with sugar and eggs and different mixtures, and it's very sticky, and our mixer won't be usable ongoing if we haven't kept it clean. So that is my introduction to the KitchenAid mixer. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you.